Hello everyone, Arcady here, and I'm back to show you the next level of Dread speedrun tech. This tech is called the Bomuhey Skew. By doing part of an aim down clip setup in a very specific way, we can activate the state that can be carried anywhere and lets us skew and speed boost anywhere. The discovery of this glitch is about as big as invincibility was for legacy patches, but Bomuhey Skew is still possible in the current patch. Here's a little bit of backstory. This glitch was originally found by Japanese runner Bomuhey-san back in November 2nd, 2021, accidentally after experimenting with slope clips. Only 2 other players ran into it accidentally back then. The ability to skew anywhere would have given us another way to skip gravity suit, among other things with untold potential, but the real cause of the glitch remained unknown for a long time. Until just a few days ago, when Japanese runner Basashi-san ran into the glitch again while doing an 80% unrestricted speedrun. A thorough review of their footage allowed me to pinpoint the cause of the glitch and replicate it for the first time ever. Yes! With a few days of further experimenting, we now have several different setups. Big thanks to Zaz who helped figure out important details about the setups and others in the community who found many bits of tech that were just as important. When you press B, the shinespark timer begins. Normally, Samus would fire off the shinespark after a brief delay, but in the shine sync states this could trigger a variety of glitchy effects depending on various inputs. The effect we want happens when Samus is free aiming on a 90 to 95 degree angle, upward and very slightly backward while free falling. Now release free aim and go forward instantly after the spark timer expires using a pause buffer, and with this, the Bomuhey Skew is activated. Normally, if you attempt to perform those inputs, Samus will turn around, but with this glitchy spark effect, that doesn't happen. There is another similar spark timer effect when Samus is fully aiming at a backward angle instead. With that, she instantly flips horizontally. This also flips the thumbstick input, temporarily swapping left with right. Some might call this the flip timing. We do not want this effect, so if this happens, you aim too far backward when the spark timer expires. The effect we want from the spark timer happens when Samus is free aiming at a specific angle in free fall, mid-air or clipping. There are 3 different ways in which you can meet this condition. You can go off a ledge, pull yourself up to a magnet, or clip through terrain. These setups will require that you learn how to do the aim down clip, so if you haven't yet, make sure to check out my tutorial video before continuing. First up, we have the off the ledge setup. This one requires that you learn to flash, shine, sync on a wall, but does not require clipping. A short ledge is recommended for this setup, or you won't be able to get off the ledge before the spark timer expires. Step 1. Do the flash sync setup. Step 2. Press B to sync and tap L. Step 3. Now walk off the ledge, or dash melee off the ledge. Step 4. As soon as you're off the ledge, free aim at a very high upward, backward angle. You can use a pause buffer to facilitate this input. Step 5. Once you're certain that the spark timer expired, you must release free aim and move forward on the same frame. As intimidating as it sounds to have a frame-perfect combo of 2 inputs, you can use a pause buffer to trivialize this. It doesn't matter when you do it, as long as you do the frame-perfect combo after the spark timer and before Samus lands on the floor. If Samus gets horizontally flipped, then you aim too far backward. If she doesn't get flipped but you still didn't get Bomuhey Skew, then you engage free aim too late, which could be due to your setup being slow or the platform too long. Aside from not turning around in step 5, there is a neat visual cue that should confirm you got the state successfully. Samus will turn around on landing if you change direction during the spin jump. Or, easier to spot without screw attack, Samus will not change the spin jump direction in mid-air. The grapple pull setup is similar to the off the ledge setup, but rather than walking off a ledge, you'd pull yourself upward, cancel the grapple beam, and then do the rest of the steps all the same. Another way to be free falling from the aim down clip setup is to actually clip into terrain. This is useful for platforms that are too long or places that don't even have a ledge to go off of. Step 1. Do the aim down clip setup. Step 2. When you press down, free aim and fire grapple beam at a high angle. Step 3. Once you're certain that the spark timer expired, pause buffer, L release, and forward. Now, this may not be enough for places where you don't have enough room to aim upward, which could cause Samus to die out of bounds. But we can split free aiming the angle in 2 steps. Step 1. Do the aim down clip setup. Step 2. When you press down, free aim at a neutral angle. Step 3. Once the spark timer expires, keep holding free aim but aim at a backward angle. Step 4. Now, pause buffer to release free aim and push forward anytime before Samus hits the floor. All of the previous setups were done with the wall setup for aim down clip. However, it is possible to also set up Bomuhey Skew with the backward flash shift instead. For the clip setup, this has the limitation that the flash shift drag animation after the sync eats up part of the spark timer, so you need to do the free aim inputs much faster. Funnily enough, the backward flash shift dash melee, which is not recommended for clipping, is a very solid alternative to the no clip setup. Doing a melee instantly interrupts flash shift, so with it, you can set up on platforms that are too large to simply walk off of and still have a decent amount of time to do the free aim inputs. With that, you can now set up this glitch anywhere that shine syncing is also possible. Here are a few insights to help you understand the setups better. Delaying your clip can allow you to get the Bomuhey Skew even in tight places, making the spark timer expire early on during your descent. When you do the inputs for free aim forward, free aim backward, and then free aim release plus forward, Samus does not need to visibly aim backward. All that matters is that you hold that input for at least 1 frame. This goes for all setups. It is possible to back up from getting flipped. You only have to redo the inputs for the new state. Free aim to the new backward direction, and then use a pause buffer to release aim and go forward. You can also just try again. I recommend practicing in a place that has plenty of room below, like this spot in Frania. Both sides of the room work. So what can you do with Bomuhey Skew? Bomuhey Skew allows you to lock Samus in whatever direction she's facing when you spin jump from a turnaround frame on the ground. When you turn around, Samus goes through several frames where she's not aligned with the 2D axis, so it would be possible to make her face the camera or the screen depending on which direction you turn from. Thus, the specific skew you'll get will depend on which frame you jump after turning around. Facing the camera or the screen directly, a frame perfect jump will allow you to speed boost on the spot and charge a shinespark in places where speed boosting is not normally possible. That is not as intimidating as it sounds. The timings are always the same, so jumping on the correct skew frame can be made consistent with practice. Also, if you get locked into any skew frame, you can reset the skew by aiming backward and melee, flash shifting, morphing, ledge grabbing, grabbing wall magnets, and wall jumping, if possible. So even if you get the wrong frame, you can simply try again. What breaks the stage? Currently, the only thing that breaks you out of the glitch is turning around in midair with a neutral jump. Spin jumping would be fine though. The exception to this seems to be instant turnarounds, which includes being damage boosted or grabbing a ledge immediately behind Samus. However, turning around in midair can happen automatically as a result of certain actions or if you're not careful with your inputs. Flash shifting is usually fine, but if you flash shift away from where Samus is facing, she may turn around if you don't leave your thumbstick neutral. Shine sparking is usually also fine, but if you spark up in midair when Samus is reverse spinning, she will automatically turn around. With free aim, you can prevent the turnaround. Firing shots is usually also fine, but you know it by now, firing in reverse spin will automatically turn you around. Shine sync clips are also usually fine, but now you have to be careful to not turn around after clipping. In particular, be careful with clips that involve room transitions, as most of them force Samus to turn around. Strangely enough, turning around is not possible while skewed. unless you're facing backward. Releasing free aim when Samus is aiming over her back will flip her around to face the camera. Otherwise, there's no known way to turn around normally after skewing. What doesn't break the state? Walking and turning around on the ground is fine. All movement in Morph Ball is fine. Bomb jumping is fine. Unmorphing is fine as long as you don't turn around in midair. Free aiming, fly shifting, sliding, and dash melees. Most everything is fine really, as long as you keep in mind the previous section. This glitch is so powerful that it persists through loads and cutscenes. When you reload the last checkpoint or last save, or even when you go back to main menu, you could set it up in one file and carry it over to another. Well, even into boss rush apparently. In short, if you lost your Bomuhey Skew, there must have been a midair turnaround at some point, or you turned off the game. Bomuhey Skew will revolutionize routing in unrestricted categories once again. Among many possible sequence breaks, I'll show you 4 that will have an immediate effect on speedruns. Once you have this glitch, you can carry it anywhere and everywhere. Skew whenever and wherever you want, as many times as you want. That's it for this video. In a future video, I will also explain another use of Bomuhey Skew, that is wall clipping. Make sure to like and subscribe, that way you'll know when the next part of this tutorial releases and more, and you'll also help out the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.